Hey guys, welcome back. I've been toying with an idea for a show for a while. I've been really busy as usual. But I got to be honest, what I've been seeing lately on YouTube's kind of boring. And I'm sure some of you are bored with some of my stuff. But I wanted to do a show where we kind of get back into the collecting aspect. I mean, this is how we all started. I mean, we're readers and all that, but we collect things. If you collect comic books, it's a good chance you collect other stuff. So I have this idea called Show Me Your Collection, and I guess I'll do the first episode to kind of give everyone an idea of what I'm talking about. But my idea is that I will have artists on, I will have some YouTube channel people on, I will have some subscribers on, and we'll kind of dive into their collection, what they collect. Um, we all collect different things, and I think it's so interesting. Plus, we can learn a lot about different collections. Some of you might have said, well, I always wanted to collect coins. And maybe you can learn from someone that collects coins, someone that you wouldn't even think did. And of course, we'll see some of their comics too. It's not going to be a huge show where it's very time consuming and we see absolutely everything. For instance, for this first show, I'll show you a little bit of my comic collection, maybe some other stuff, and it won't be too long. Just some of the fun things that have meaning to us. Some things we just buy because we collect it. Some things have more meaning. And I hope that this show can bring people back into the love, the hobby, whatever you want to call it, of collecting again. So, this show might be every couple weeks or something here and there when I get some time. When I find the right people that I think I want to be on the show. And we'll try to make it nicely edited and stuff like that for you. A little bit extra. And we'll have more time to do it. So I hope you enjoy Show Me Your Collection. We'll start off with some of mine. And in a couple weeks, you might see a pop-up. So make sure you turn on your notifications of another show with a guest. And there's so many people. I've already thought, like Brian Polito, he has a huge collection of certain things. I haven't talked to him yet. Some subscribers, I already know I want to see some of their stuff. I know some artists that collect. I mean, it should be a nice assortment of people to see what their hobbies are and stuff. And it could be a lot of fun. Okay, so let's get started with my collection, at least a portion of it. I hope you enjoy the show. So before we begin, I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of my life. When I was a kid, I don't know, there's something about me, like, I've changed a little bit, but I always was like a business mind. Like, I was the lemonade stand kid for a while when I was real young. And, I'm in this little corner by my house selling lemonade to people. And, I'm in front of someone else's yard and there's rocks. And they're like different colored rocks, right? So I'm like taking neighbors' rocks and putting them on the table, selling rocks. I could sell anything. And there was some sort of passion I had there. Some genetic code thing. From what I heard, my dad, his great-grandpa, I never met any of my grandparents, or my great-grandparents. Actually, I never met my grandfathers. They both passed before I was born. But my great-grandpa was like this magical businessman. He had a little business. All he did was sell goods and little trade thing. And I feel like I got that from him. I'm not my father, that's for sure. But I always had this little knack for stuff. And then, when you're a kid, you see things. You go in a grocery store, you see the spinner rack. I fell in love with Spider-Man and Batman. And that's all I would buy, Spider-Man and Batman. And then at school, I met this kid, and he had comics, and we would trade. The same story, except I would keep the stuff. I couldn't help but keep the stuff I traded. Then it turned into sports cards. Then it kind of fell away for a while. And then I went back to comics probably about 15 plus years ago. Hardcore. I was buying mad collections and moving it. But I had, ended up getting rid of my baseball collection, which was horrific now that I think about it. But I traded one for another. I mean, there were stamps, there was coins. I have a little assortment of everything. And that's what I think so amazing about, I don't even know if it's our time period. I think everyone's a collector, but I think the younger generation is totally different. They're addicted to the phone. They're addicted to games. I mean, we were all gamers too. We grew up in that. But, like, for us, there was something special about it. So, although I do have a comic book store and I buy and sell comics, I am a hoarder like you wouldn't believe. I have no room anywhere for anything. So I'm going to show you some of my comics and maybe a couple other things. And hopefully, if this show turns into something else, we can hear other people's stories. But I wanted to give you a brief story on myself and my habit, because I think there are collectors and then there are people in the game that are just in it for money. They don't understand. And I want to separate that. I want to find the collectors. So let's go. Let me show you some cool comics. So initially I fell in love with comics because you could escape and you could imagine being a superhero or whatever. And then it was the art, the pictures. I was so taken by the art and the writing. It turned into this OCD that I had to complete things. So I was buying and selling collections, and unfortunately, the key word there, selling, really hurt me. So I ended up going on this quest. It was a 10-year quest to get the entire XMen collection. I've had multiple complete collections, but my quest was to get the complete collection signed. So I'm going to show you some of those books and some other things too. Of course, we have to start off with the mother of all, the GOAT, okay? So this is, of course, XMen #1. I used to have a SICKO, and it was signed, but I traded it so I could get higher grade number 2, 3, 4. I bought a 5.5 raw, got it re-signed, sent it in, and I was hoping to get a 6. This book is super clean. It should be a 6. At least or more, but sometimes they just don't give you what you want. But this, when I got it, it wasn't as expensive as it is now. But to me, this is my biggest book, most likely. This is definitely my biggest book. And I love it. I love the X-Men. At first, it was Batman and Spider-Man, right? More black suity Spidey. But then I fell in love with the X-Men. And of course, it probably had a lot to do with the cartoons and all the rest of this stuff later on. But yeah, this one is signed by Stan Lee. And it's a 5.5. Let's see what else that I have here. Now, there are certain books in my collection besides that mean a lot to me. Like this book right here. This is the Strange Tales Annual, #1, which would be considered the first annual, Marvel annual, okay? Signed by Stan Lee. I should have had it pressed. But there's something about this book that means, like, I can't get rid of it. I think there's only 4 in the world that are actually signed by Stan Lee, which makes it even cooler because, for key reasons, it's basically the first Marvel annual. And I can't separate myself from it. Now, it's not all about verified stuff, okay? I like getting books signed raw. The thing is, there's so many different type of collectors say you have to have it slabbed and verified. Or some say, you can get it signed, I just get my book signed and I don't get it graded. Or there's some that say, don't ever get your book signed. Or there's some that say, make them sign the inside cover. I'm the guy that will do whatever. Like, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. But this is one of those special books that means something to me. Okay, this next book is an example of how I don't care. So, ASM 300, right? 9.6, signed by Stan Lee. This book is a 9.8. I just got to say that. But no matter what, I get 9.6. It was a 9.4. Now, I had it signed by Stan Lee. I got it pressed, and they gave me a 9.6. It was already a 9.4, right? This comic has traveled with me for years and years and years before I got it even signed. What is special about this book, and it's different than all the rest, is my goal was to get it signed by all the creators that worked on this book. David Michelini, Todd McFarlane, Salicrup, Stan Lee, right? So I had it certified Stan Lee, and I didn't want to get it cracked again. So what I did was I had them sign in the inner well. It took a while to get them all, but I've had placements, so they signed on the slab, right? David Michelini signed there. These are all creators of, Venom. Then I had Jim Salicrup sign over there, and then I had Todd sign. And I remember the day that I finally got it signed from him, and it was completed because I left the middle for him. Some people are like, dude, Bill, that's the stupidest thing you could ever done. But to me, I'm happy. It's something different. No one else will have that like that, right? And it's complete to me. That's part of my problem as being a collector. I'm a completionist. I have to finish. Like, if I don't stop, I can't sleep. That's same with my job here. Same with YouTube. I have to finish. I have to have it done. I have to answer all the questions. It just never ends. So, and if I have an idea in my head and I'm in bed, that's it. I can't sleep until I get up and do the thing. Here's another example of thinking out of the box, okay? It's my Secret Wars 9.8. Now I have tons of these, okay? But this one's special to me, and it will never leave, okay? Maybe when I retire, whenever the heck that is. 9.8, white pages, Secret Wars 8, right? I said, you know what? I saw Zach and I saw Beta, and I said, can you sign this in white on the slab? So the signature, of course, is on the slab. Not verified because I don't care. This is personal to me. So they signed it in like a white ink. It's some like white, almost like whiteout, but it's a paint pen. Dude, you guys, that looks sick, okay? That looks absolutely sick, the way it pops off that case like that. And you know what? It's not on the comic. So, if worse comes to worse, the signatures fade, but I still have that 9.8 in there. But man, it makes the book look so much better than if it was actually signed on the book. And again, these are just some fun things. Now, I have a lot more slabs. Believe me, I have a lot more. But I wanted to show you some raw stuff and some other little things just for fun. This video could last a year. Trust me. But let's keep going. I'll show you one more slab that doesn't have a signature on it. That's one of my babies. It's this giant size 9.2. I bought this, believe it or not, for I believe $1,300 a while back. This book is just skyrocketed. Once the movie comes out, even better. But this is my copy. This book has not been pressed. You can see a press would do this thing justice. I just don't think it would give me a bump. It might give me one bump, but I'm too nervous to crack it because of some corner stuff. But let's show you some other stuff. Now, I have a pretty extensive original art collection. You see it on my walls. And prints. Like, I buy prints, when we're at con, I buy prints, get them signed, stuff like that. I have a lot of cover originals. This is actual page art. I collect everything. I think for me, the final thing is the page art. is stuff that I think's the final end game for this hobby in general, comic books. Um, but there are some prints that I have that I can never get rid of. I can't. I would never even think about it. And I want to give you an example, if I can find it. I used to collect signatures, like autographs, like stuff like this. But like I'd have a bunch of movie star stuff. Um, that was a big hobby, a thing I was into. This right here. Now I have this the comic book, right? But I don't know why the Andy Kubert signed print, because I have the matching comic. I can't ever get rid of it. I want to keep it forever. I cannot. I'll probably never let it go. I'd love to put it on my wall, but I have so many originals up there now. It's like kind of pointless. But like, I absolutely love this, and to have a conversation with Andy was amazing. And to have him sign that was super awesome. She says, "Yeah, that's sick." So recently, I've been on this kick of the rarities, like the rare comics. Mark Jewelers are rare, but I've been buying these, and these are just, the price variants are so hard to find. They're impossible to find. So, I go to a con and only one guy's got them, so I have to buy them out, and they aren't cheap. So I just buy them. I think that these are probably the lowest, rarest print comics there are, is the price variants. Now, again, if you're ever seeing any, look for this type of outline here. And I've been gobbling them up, and unfortunately, I'm addicted. So I've been picking up a lot of those when I can. I'm always on the hunt. If I see one and it's decent, I try to buy it. There's just this thing about rarity that I can't get past, that I have to have. I also have a massive collection of sign books, just pure sign books. Like, I will take, if I know, I do like 2-week research before Comic Con, see who's there. I put boxes of stuff, and if I don't have a signature on a book, right, I go get it. And this is a prime example of it. The first Gambit, or, well, maybe not first, but you know what I mean. We got Jim Lee, Chris Claremont. Is that Andy Kubert? Joe Rubenstein. What is it? I think there's another one on there. It looks like that's it. I think that's it. Four signatures on that one. But anyone that I can find that's done work on books, especially in my X-Men collection, because I want it to have as many signatures as possible. I like to get multiple signatures, and this is like this. A lot of people don't like this, but since it's mine, I don't care. Another example is my XMen 94. I had a chance once to trade my X-Men 1 6.0 for a highest graded 9.6 or highest graded slab X-Men 94. I think it was a double page, and it had like 4 signatures on it. I didn't do it, but I ended up getting rid of it anyway. But you got Len Wayne, he's now passed, Chris Claremont, Stan Lee. It's just things like that make this hobby so much fun to me. Now I have a lot more stuff. I might just quickly rifle through it with you, some other ideas, and then we'll be done. I don't have a huge collection, but I did, of just like coins, like weird coins from like wherever, Italy, or just stuff like that. I'd really be interested in, doing a show with someone that collects coins. Because I think they're fun. I know this is kind of silly, but whatever. There's a Pence. There's a Pence. It's a Mike Pence. This is cool. I think this is worth some money. I can't remember. 10 francs? Whatever 10 francs is worth. I don't know. I have all types of weird shit. I got this, like, weird Van Gogh poker chip. I used to play a lot of poker. I just always had this. Is this Van Gogh or Edgar Allan Poe? I can't remember. I don't know. Just dumb stuff. And I have rarities too. Like, my birthday's May 4th, right? And so Avengers Infinity War came out on my birthday, but it got pushed. So I got my hands on one of the original posters because it's basically rare because it didn't come out that day, you know? Different things like that. Original art that I've had the chance to purchase that we did a cover with. Stuff in my background, original David Mack, original works. The Jay Ferguson I recently purchased that I absolutely love. You know, just tons of stuff. Just all types of different cool little things that I just absolutely love. And I want you guys to share that stuff with me. I want you to share your hobbies and your collections with me together, and maybe we can bring back, you know, that feeling that we had with the kids that's been I feel like it's being taken away. It's all about moving books now. It's not about collecting anymore. It really isn't. It's about how much you can get for it instead of what if it had meaning to you. So I hope this show was kind of interesting to you. I believe me, I could go on. I could show you stuff. You'd be like, wow. I could just go on and on and on. But I didn't want to do that. I wanted to show you some different things of why and how. And I really wanted to get the feel of what this show could be. This is just the beginning. But for me, it's more interesting, just like you, as seeing some of my stuff. I want to see your stuff. So that's where this show will go. We're going to look and hear from other people of their collections, why, how it makes them feel, stuff like that. Hopefully in the next couple weeks we'll have another show. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you think this might be an interesting show to see how we all collect, and who knows, maybe you will be on the show. I don't know. So I hope you guys enjoyed just a little break from what we've been going through, and we'll see you on episode 2. Okay? Have a good one.